Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcats Sports Network. It's our weekly visit with McKendree football coach Mike Babcock and coach the Bearcats on the road for the first time last week against Kentucky State University, a team the Bearcats had faced in 2017. McKendree got off to a fast start, posted a 34-17 victory, and both sides of the ball again showing some efficiency. The offense, 4 touchdowns for Reese Metcalf, a nice running game, a couple of nice plays from Preston Thompson. The Bearcats defense, some big goal line stands in the second half, and you had to be pleased to get the 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you can win, and not only win, but win on the road, is obviously a plus. And, we talked about all the distractions of, what a game like this could be like, and just the overall going on the road and playing somewhere you've never been at. So, I was pleased with what the guys did, and, obviously coming away with the win is what you want.
Started the offense first. Reese Metcalf was pinpoint accurate on Saturday, 18 of 22, 260 yards, 4 touchdowns. And, Coach, I looked at the film, and those 4 incompletions, those were balls that I won't say they were easily catchable, but they were in the vicinity, and he could have had a perfect day.
Yeah, he could have had a perfect day, and that happens. I know he said that he felt really, really good, on game day, and obviously it showed, out there on Saturday. So, it all starts at the quarterback. He also made some throws, and the receivers made some really nice catches to make him a good, quarterback. So, I think when you have good receivers, good quarterback, and they're able to, come together and execute at a high level, then you got a good offense.
For the receivers, you got the usual for production from guys like Josh Reve and Zach Bobus, Jalen Williams, but a new guy onto the scene, Stephen Towns Jr., 2 touchdown receptions, had the big 75-yard catch and run right before the half that gave the Bearcats the momentum going into the locker room.
Yeah, I thought Steve, kind of had a little coming out party. He was able to basically just be at the right place at the right time. It was... what they were giving us coverage-wise or whatever, Reese decided, hey, this is where I'm going to. And, luckily Steve was able to make a couple nice catches, and especially one for a very long touchdown right before half. And again, I thought he had a nice day.
Preston Thompson leading the rushing attack, the workhorse for the Bearcats after the adjustments, 143 yards on the day, including an electrifying 65-yard touchdown run. That kind of helped seal the victory for McKendree. That's a guy you've relied on. He came through on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. We ran the ball a lot in the second half. We relied on just kind of our run game and being able to kind of pound it out to finish the game out, and he was one of those guys. He is a workhorse. Like, he is a guy that's going to give you everything he's got, and he did a very nice job, especially with the long run. But really all of our running backs, from Jace Franklin to Jericho Johnson, all those guys are doing a fine job in the run game, and not to mention the 5-0 linemen and the tight end that are blocking for him. So in a way, team effort, and away we go.
Let's look at the defense. You look across the board, and I didn't think we met in the post game on Saturday. Don't want to call them a no-name defense, but these are guys that are still getting acclimated to the system, and they came through in big ways, especially in the second half. Rico Gibson led the way with 9 tackles, but there were some guys like Kenneth Wilson, like Blake Benoist, as we've seen before, and some other guys that really stepped up, made some plays in the second half that helped McKendree maintain that lead.
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of those games where it was rainy, windy, not the greatest of, hey, let's just throw the ball over the place type of atmosphere, but at the same point, guys were kind of flying around, making plays, really containing that quarterback. I mean, that quarterback was, I think, something special. He had a very nice long run all the way down the sideline, but the big thing was it was kind of the bend don't break on Saturday. It was, all right, they had some long drives and some long yards, but at the end of the day, they didn't come away with points, and so that was kind of key. I think a couple people, like you said, Blake, Kenneth Wilson, Ibn King, a couple of these guys that are kind of coming into their own right now are able to step up and make some plays. And so it's a young defense, but at the same point, they're going hard every single snap.
You talked about the bend but don't break mentality of the defense. We saw a goal line stand in the season opener against Northern Michigan. 2 more 4th down stops on Saturday against Kentucky State, another 4th and goal, and then it was 1st and goal, I believe, at the 2-yard line for Kentucky State. McKendree holds on 4 plays. It seems like when the going gets tough, this defense ratchets it up 2 or 3 notches and gets the job done.
I mean, my credit's off to them and the defensive coaching staff, because, you are right. They are doing a nice job, and I know they look forward to the next game and the rest of the competition coming up, but so far they've done a nice job, especially when it's time to go. Last year, that was something that we actually struggled in, was 4th down stops, and now it's kind of nice to kind of have that on our back right now, and hopefully it can continue.
Speaking of next opponents, a very tall task at hand on Saturday for the Bearcats as they host Bowie State University. This was a program that led NCAA Division II in scoring last year, over 54 points a game, and they're showing signs that they can produce the points again in a very stout defense. So a mix that the Bearcats are going to have to find a solution for, so they'd be able to pull out the third victory of the season.
Yeah, when you look at Bowie State, I mean, this is an all-around solid football team. Offensively, right now they're fifth in the nation in passing yards. Last year they were number one in the nation in total offense and scoring offense. So we know that they can throw the ball. They've got a fantastic quarterback back there. He's one of the best I've seen. He'll find ways to make him right, and he loves throwing the ball, and they do a good job. They've got plenty of wide receivers, running backs, and a good old line to kind of complement them. But again, I think very, very solid offensively. Defensively, guys go around hard. Number 11, their defensive end, an All-American last year. Again, kind of a stout defense. They want to play a lot of man-to-man and, say that, hey, we're better than you, come beat us. So I think it'll be a great test for our guys on Saturday, and, hopefully we'll get a great crowd out there and enjoy a good day of football.
It's a new opponent for the Bearcats on the schedule this year as the Bulldogs come in 1-1 on the year. They went 9-2 last year, earned a playoff berth in the NCAA Division II playoffs. It's a good test from the Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association. First of two CIAA members that the Bearcats are scheduled to face, Shawan University being the one next week. But a good test from an East Coast team and a playoff squad coming in.
Yeah, and that's why we scheduled it. We wanted to say, hey, how are we going to be able to compete with, teams on a national level? Bowie State has been there. They've done that. And this is a very good, solid football team. Can we compete with those type of guys is, kind of the question that on everyone's mind and in our mind right now is, what's going to happen on Saturday. So away we go.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate it.
If you can't make it to Lehman Field, join us for the broadcast on the GLVC Sports Network at www.glvcsn.com/McKendree, beginning with the pregame show, 12:45, kickoff at 1 p.m.